Well, folks, in today's video, we're going to be unboxing a whole bunch of different well cars I picked up on eBay. I've been looking to buy some intermodal cars for quite a while now, but unfortunately they're usually quite on the pricey side, so I've been just kind of looking around. But recently I managed to find two lots which had some fairly decent prices in my opinion. This first one comes from Australia and it has 3 Walther's cars in it, plus the containers. And I think it went for about $120, which is not really that bad for the Walther's ones. So we're going to open it up and see what kind of condition they're in, and hopefully made off with some decent stuff. Everything's supposed to be in fairly good condition. So here's the first one, and it appears to be in pretty good condition. We've got a little bit of damage to one of the railings. However, for the price, I think that this is in terrific condition. You know, before I found this lot, I was actually looking to buy some aftermarket ones, which really didn't appear as good. I'm quite impressed with the quality of the Walther's one. I've had one for a couple years now, and the fact that they actually make these out of metal, I think is very impressive. And yeah, we got 2 different containers, including a Burlington Northern one and an EMP one. Both look very nice. And just as before, we got a little bit of damage, but overall the cars look to be in very good shape. This one features a JB Hunt container. And finally, we've got this container. This one actually looks to not have any damage on it, so that's good to see. And we got an NACS container. I'm not sure what the bottom one is, however. Now, here is the second lot of cars which I bought from the States. This one was a very good deal. It was $100 for 4 cars. Now, some of them are supposedly missing couplers and so on, so it might need a little bit of restoration, but that's really no problem. A little bit of work is something that I'm willing to put into most things. Well, so the seller has really taken the packaging quite seriously, actually putting all these select pieces of foam. And so far, this first car looks to be in decent condition. Really no worse than the other ones. We do have plastic wheels. I would like to swap those out for metal ones just to keep the track a little cleaner, but still, that's not that bad. Looks like we lost that truck. We'll have to go get that. Here's our second car. Looks to be a little bit rough. We're missing some couplers, but really nothing we can't fix. And then the final 2. And check this one out. We've actually got a Southern Pacific container. Super cool. And an APL. So now with an entire fleet of new intermodal cars, I think I'll do some necessary repairs to try to get these all up to scratch, and then we'll take them out on the layout and actually run them for the first time. So now that we've got couplers on all the cars, I think they're pretty much ready to go. I tried to get as many of the details back on as well, but unfortunately there were a lot of pieces like this where I couldn't really find whereabouts they were originally attached. So for the time being, they're all going to be missing a few parts, but I'm not going to throw these out. Eventually, I'm sure I'll find where they go, and I'll glue them back on when I do. But otherwise, I think these cars all look great, and I really can't wait to run them on my layout. So let's take them all over to the track and get them all set up. So to start off, we've got this piece right here. This is a Walther's Canadian Pacific Intermodal. It was actually my very first one, and we're going to put this amongst the other cars. I think it's going to look great, especially since it's from the same brand as a lot of them. All right, well, we've got them all set up together, and I think that the train is looking really good so far, but I have something which is going to make this entire consist look at least 10 times better. So let me show you what it is. And it is, of course, a BNSF-9 in the H2 paint scheme. And there's a couple reasons that I think that this is the most fitting locomotive to pull this train. I mean, first of all, we've obviously got some BNSF cars, so that kind of automatically makes it a fit. But second of all, when I was a kid, there was a game called Microsoft Train Simulator. And most of the time when you were hauling an intermodal train, this would be the locomotive of choice, a BNSF-9 with the exact same paint scheme. So I can't wait to see an HO scale version of that exact train on my layout for the first time. So let's get these things all hooked up and take this thing for a spin. Check it out. That just looks so cool. I don't know. It looks really out of place on the layout, honestly. I mean, it's not that I dislike all the old locomotives and rolling stock I'm usually running on here, but I've got to say there's something very cool about actually seeing some modern power on the layout for the first time. You know, I know that 8 cars is not a particularly big train, but I'm still very impressed with how it looks here on the layout, and I think it's also going to be a great size for the amount of room I have in my freight yard. Either way, I just can't wait to see the yard filled with all these different cars, and, you know, I might even buy a few extra containers just so that things can be mixed and matched a little bit. But either way, I'm so far very happy with this train. Maybe even weathering a few of the cars will be fun, but we'll see. I'm not 100% sure. Well, folks, I think that that's going to be a wrap for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm overall very happy with the train so far. I think all the equipment's working pretty well together. There are some minor things I'm going to have to tackle. I think the first one being obviously all those details. I'm going to have to figure out where all of those go. And I would also like to grease all the wheels because, as you can hear right now, the train is pretty noisy, so it's going to need a little bit of maintenance here and there, but really nothing too complicated to tackle. I also suspect this is going to be quite a popular train during live streams. It's just something new in the collection, and there are a lot of different locomotives which I think would look pretty nice pulling this thing. But until then, I just want to thank you all so much for watching.